Getting a bit wild and woolly now.
Queensland Tree Shoe Cameron Dick warning the disaster would have $1 billion impact on the state. Weather officials are predicting more rain on a Monday as Jasper is expected to linger in the region. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said the Australian military have been placed on standby for aid rescue. Sudden flooding in northern Queensland has led to evacuation an entire town with the people standing on the roof on the hospital. Thousands of people have been evacuated, but others remain standing in what authorities expect will be the worst flooding in Australian region. Extreme weather conditions caused by the tropical cyclone have brought with a year worth of rainfall in some areas. Footage show airplanes wrecked Claim Airport and Cordale, the middle of the city, and people fleeing the boats. No fatalities or missing people have been yet reported. Insane rain is expected to continue for another 24 hours. Hundreds of people have been rescued and many homes flooded, electricity and the roads cut off and state drinking water supply dredging. As of today, the storm warning remains in effect for the first area from Bundaberg. Over the next 62 hours, significant rainfall on 100mm and 150mm in forecast between the Gold Coast and Gold Coast, with isolated rainfall of around 215–300mm. A coastal through the developing, bringing wet and unstoppable weather, the heaviest precipitation is expected between tonight and tomorrow morning for the low pressure system developing through. A month's worth in rainfall in just few hours yesterday, and impact of the former tropical cyclone Kirrily continue to be felt across the northern and central Queensland. Significant rainfall on 100mm and 115mm in forecast over the next 82 hours between the Gold Coast and the Gold Coast, with an isolated rainfall of around 115–300mm. The rain is expected to begin and subside on Tuesday, but rivers have not yet peaked in air and will remain swollen for several days. Several rivers are expected to break records set during the flood of 1977. The Dundee River, for example, has already exceeded a previous record by 2 meters after 120mm of rainfall in 24 hours. Government officials estimated the damage of the disaster will expect $1 billion Australian dollars. Eastern Australia has suffered from the frequent flooding in recent years, and country is now experiencing the El Nino weather phenomenon, which is usually associated with extreme events such as wildfires and cyclones. In recent years, Australia has experienced a series of natural disasters, severe drought and historic wildfires, consecutive years on a record flood, and a 6 cause of mass breaching of the Great Barrier Reef. A future full of worsened disaster is likely unless urgent action is taken to stop climate change, warning in the latest report from the UN International Panel on Climate Change. Local authorities said the city received about 600 millimeters of rain in the 14 hours to early Monday morning, more than 3 times to average the December. All flights to and from Cairns Airport, while planes were partially inundated by floodwaters, were cancelled or delayed on Monday. More than 14,000 properties across the region were left without power, authorities said. In Well, the rural community in the Cape York region, 9 people, including 7-year-old boy, sought shelters in the roof of hospital. Cordially with support were stopped swimming in floodwaters in several rural areas, including Well and inland. The flooding followed heavy rain and strong winds caused by tropical cyclone Jasper, which moved landfall in Australia last week. Queensland Premier Stephen Mills said that flooding was the worst natural disaster in a heat ever seen in the state. The problem is the rain won't stop, and until it subsides, we won't be able to provide air support in remote areas, Mills told in Australia Broadcasting Corps. Residents of the neighboring Caboolture, located on the bottom of the King's Current and Timor Sea, were advised to people for evacuation, and floodwaters were also expected to rise there. The city council also opened all of the public libraries for those seeking shelters from the weather. This comes after dangerous flash flooding left families trapped in their homes overnight, with the emergency service carried out water rescue for the families seeking help in the Monterey Bay, Somerset, Loch Valley, and Darwin Down region. Intense downpour continued today, and the Bureau of Meteorology has previously warned on numerous very dangerous thunderstorms that could cause life-threatening intense rainfall and flash flooding. Caboolture was the epicenter of slow-moving storm, and authorities in Moreton Bay advised of residents to stay indoors. The Queensland Fire and Emergency Service are urging residents to stay in their homes until the storm passes. While the southeastern talking the burst of the storm, much of Queensland experienced heavy rainfall overnight. Some part of Moreton Bay saw 300 millimeters of rain in just 3 hours, and the central highlands saw around 81 millimeters in 2 hours.
Nein, lass es.
Ja, ich lasse es.
Flooding in Australia. Floods airport crisis is exacerbated by crocodile invasions, and people are left without drinking water. Many rivers burst their banks and flooded the entire neighborhood in the city of Cairns in the state of Cleveland. Just before Christmas, the authorities were focused to close the airport as the runway turned into river. The problem is the rain just won't stop, and until it stops, we are not going to be able to get air support to remote locations. Hundreds of people have been evacuated in the northeast Australia after severe flooding cut off town and forced residents to flee and rooftops to scale rising water. More than 300 people were rescued in Queensland. State and military helicopters were deployed to help areas cut off by flooding, officials said Monday. Cairns, a popular tourist destination that serves as a gateway by Great Barrier Reef, was also completely cut off by floodwaters, amid fears that the city's 116,000 residents will soon lack access to clean drinking water.